Welcome, 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 everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I am your host, DBoss, and I'm just here today. And you know what I'm going to tell you? I just hope that everybody's doing their 15 minutes or more of laughing a day, because that helps you in your overall health. It releases a lot of those endorphins in your body. It helps heal your body. It keeps your soul intact. What you put out is what you're going to get back. So if you put out happy, positive vibes, you're going to get it. You're going to get that back all day long, even no matter what kind of job you do. So, it also keeps your blood pressure down. There's just so much health benefits to you laughing every day. And if people tell me, oh, I don't have anybody to laugh with, well, listen, you can call somebody, you can put something on so much streaming things available that's funny, and you could laugh. If you do 15 minutes, if you do a half hour, if you do an hour, well, you'll be all good. And, you just have to, do it. You're going to feel better. I get so much responses back from people that they've been doing it and they're feeling a lot better. They feel every day like, oh my goodness, I should have been doing this years ago. So, they should do that. But today it's festival, picnic, all kinds of stuff time here, in Canada, Ontario. You can't say there's no shortage of those activities here in the summer. It says Ontario likes to live for the summer. So we have somebody back in the organization that we're going to talk about with him. We're gonna find out how it started, why it started, and it's a big year for them also. So we'll be right back after one message from our sponsor, which is Vital Steps to Vital Health, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to your Vital Steps to Better Health and Fitness. I'm Joanne James. Today we're going to talk about hydration, especially when you're exercising. Now, when we exercise, we will actually lose water through sweating through the tops of our heads and our skin. And it's important to replace that water. 60% of our body is made of water. So when you're working out, make sure that before you start the program, you've had liquid or some form of water an hour before your workout, then sip throughout your workout. And once you finish that workout, you're going to make sure that you have more water. This is a way to replenish the body so that one, you don't feel dizzy or feel nauseous or feel as though you're going to pass out because you're dehydrated. So it's very important to make sure that you consume water throughout your workout. Drink water, you'll feel better, and you'll get the best workout. I'm Joanne James, and this has been your Vital Steps to Better Health and Fitness. See you later.
Well, thank you, Joanne James, for that tip. Important, everybody. It's hot out, very hot. It's extremely hot. You need to hydration. Yes, and I know everybody attends all these festivals, and they think, well, I had 3 or 4 beers, or I had a glass of wine, or rum punch, or something. They had a Concord of your favorite beverage, but you also got to include. That is not liquid. You have to include a water, sparkling water, coconut water, something in there to bring back all the liquid and all the water that you've lost through sweating, talking, and from the alcoholic beverages. So we got somebody here, and it's the other brother came on last year, and now we got the other one today. And he's really lively and all this. That's what they told me. So they're doing the Emancipation Festival, Owen Sound 2024. And this year is a special year. It's their 162nd year of them doing this. We're going to find out all about the history behind it and everything else. So with no further ado, we're going to get right into it. We're going to introduce you Douglas Johnson.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Boy, it's good that when you have people on here and they have such a cultural, historic background, and you guys have it because you guys have been involved in so much things and for years and years and years in your family, through the ancestors and through things, so you guys must feel so proud of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I've been going there since I was a little boy. So then my grandson's going now, but my son went, my daughter went, now my grandson's going, and I can't wait to get there every year. It's a great time, great place to be, lots of fun, laughs, enjoyment, family, good food, lots of laughs, good music. It's a great time.
So you're incorporating my thing with the laughing there in there.
You know, it says that it says in the word, it says, "A merry heart mendeth the soul." So keep laughing. So
Yes.
yeah.
So, here at Real Life Matters, we like to know everybody's cultural background and where they come from.
Okay. My father is a black man born in Canada. My mother is from a white lady born in Canada, but her mother came from England, and her roots go back to Ireland, 1620, as far back as my sister's checked so far. My father's father and great great grandfather um, on my father's side was a Johnson. Came up from this, I believe it was Kentucky, through the Underground Railroad, escaped into Canada. And on my father's mother's side, um, they were from, I believe, same area. I'm not 100% sure, but they came up, and they are the Earls, part of the family, and that was my grandmother's side. So, and they migrated or immigrated to Owen Sound, which is the most northern terminus of the Underground Railroad. So that was, that was, I believe, so that this year's, like you said, the 162nd um, uh, festival. We used to call it the picnic.
Yeah,
So
that's what it is, a picnic.
yeah, yeah. But to us older ones, it's always been the picnic. But so it's a pretty special year. I think it's the oldest. I believe, I'm pretty sure it's the oldest celebrated festival in North America. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
And I heard that in Owen Sound they have some nice beaches up there too.
Well, just a 20-minute drive. Well, no, maybe 40-minute drive outside of Owen Sound is Sauble Beach. It's great, along Huron, or in, well, it's Lake Huron. Beautiful, beautiful place to go. We,
Wow.
my brother has a cottage up there every year, and we try to invade his place at least one day. But this year, my sisters and I have rented a house just outside of Owen Sound on Georgian Bay. So we have my sisters. I have four sisters. They're all involved.
Wow.
My sister Linda is the president of the Emancipation Committee in Owen Sound this year. My brother is affiliated. He's because he's like helps make things happen. He's part of the committee, and my daughter's also part of the committee.
Wow.
My daughter Karina, my brother Bruce, like I said, and my sister Bonnie, who is my youngest sister, lives just outside Owen Sound. She actually has her business in Owen Sound, and
Okay.
she created the cairn up there, which is tiles set in the ground, which have different messages on them, in like along the routes of when the people were trying to leave the South, escape from the South. People along the way would put up a blanket, and it had a certain message on it. If it was like a dipping gourd, we all know that the North Star is to the north, so that would be a signal to you're in a safe place. You can come here. Usually, they had different signs. If you had a black sheet up or something like that, people believed that we were around that area, that lived there, that they had the disease, smallpox or something, so nobody would go there except for the slaves. So
Wow. So that's
yeah,
by putting up a blanket or a sheet, right?
yeah, yeah. So they had different text or tiles or sheets that signify different um, things. what kind of, like I said, one would be a safe thing, one would point you to the north. So there was various flags, or they're like a, like a map north. So
Wow.
yeah.
So a lot of people probably don't realize that, a lot of people in the various slave trades, you said they came through there, and that you guys are the most northern, so they had to really get to you guys to get out.
Well, yeah. Well, look, when you say get to us guys, I don't
Yeah, I
understand
mean,
what you
I'm
mean.
Owen Sound.
To get out.
To get out from the underground railroad that comes out there, right?
Well, yeah, like that's a terminus, like a station, a place, a destination. There were
Right.
various ones. Um, I believe there was one or just Windsor, I think was one. There's various ones along the way. I think the most western one was out in Vancouver. But I think
Wow.
we say ours is the most northern, but I believe that one was the most western. So it's a coast to coast almost. Like there's some in the on the east coast as well, and we're in the middle of the country. So so just outside or in London here, I took my late wife and my sister Bonnie to a site here in London, which is um, a site where there's about a 500-year-old oak tree. It's massive, like four people with their arms together couldn't put their arms around it.
What?
And it's a site where slaves that came up through this area would congregate and stay. It was a safe place for them to go, and they would stay there for 2 or 3 days and move on. They'd camp out there. So it's not many people know about it. I took my sister there 2 years ago, and yeah, I made a video of it. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this tree is so big that four people going around it can't
Yeah,
even.
if you stretch your arms out around it, you couldn't do it. With four people, I just barely might, but I don't think so because there was three of us there and we couldn't do it. So it's
Wow.
a massive old white it's a white oak, I believe. It's huge. But
So
anyway,
is it
that was
tall? The tree is tall,
yeah,
or
yeah. You can see it for if you know where to look, you can see it for
yeah.
miles. Yeah, and I know where to look.
Wow.
So I don't. Um, that's another thing. That's something I would like to let other people know about in the area, and coming through that it's a historical site. Another place is just outside London, north here is Dresden. That was where a settlement was started, and
Okay.
my other roots are the Johnson roots go back to Dresden, Ontario, which is a free, well, it was land given to Josiah Henson, was a ward of Queen Victoria, and as such, he was given land. He was given monies to go to the south and bring back slaves, and they settled in Dresden. Our homestead was there. My brother was born there. I was living
Okay.
there when I was 5. My great aunt and uncle lived there. They were the brother and sister to my grandfather, Clarence Johnson, and his brother Samuel, and my aunt Beatrice. I used to think they were married as a little boy. I had no electricity there. They had a cistern in the house. Outside, they had a well. They had my great uncle used to take me out in the field as a little boy and plow the field with a horse, which was really awesome as a little boy.
Wow.
I used to go out there and smack flies off this horse. Her name was Old Bell.
Old Val.
Old Bell. And my grandfather, I got her so used to me coming along with her. I'd smack flies off her. I'd go underneath her feet, climb up underneath her belly, smack her. I could go in front of her, nuzzle with her, and she never ever stepped on me. But meanwhile, I'm knocking off big black horseflies like this big around.
Oh my gosh. So what
So
did
she
you
ended up
use for that? Like a cloth
just
or something?
just my hand. I was a kid. I
Oh,
just
okay.
So anyway, my great uncle used to say, "Doug, get out here." That's why I'm saying you got her spoiled. She ain't going nowhere unless you come with me. So so it was a great time
They
in my
knew
life.
you.
Yeah, that's right. And this old man was a really interesting person. He had, older black men, seniors get that ring around their eye. I don't know if
Yeah.
you heard, you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, he was like a pioneer. We had, like I said, we had no water in the house, but he also used to grow his own tobacco, and he used to roll. He'd make grow his own tobacco, grind it up, and he would make a cigarette out of it, out of a brown paper bag, and he'd light that thing. And he always, no matter where he went, he always had that little butt hanging out of his, and it was wet and mushy looking and brown. And I used to think
Oh
it was
my
gross,
God.
but it was,
That's what sick looking.
but it was. I thought it was so cool, right? Because he was a man. So yeah, he used to switch me if I was bad. Well, one time I took off out of the house, running around the house, and by the time I got around to the other side, he was standing there waiting for me. And this is an old man in the 70s, so which I am now myself. But yeah, so it was a great experience and time of my life. It was a real adventure. Yeah. So, but anyway,
Wow.
that was my roots there. Josiah Henson was, like I said, there's a graveyard there, and there's also a building that's called Uncle Tom's Cabin, but but at his gravestone, on the top of it, it has a crown, and that was authorized by Queen Victoria. So it's a special place and a special honor and privilege to have that on his monument. So as the Queen of the Empire, then where they said the sun never sets on the British Empire. So he was, people talk about Uncle Tom. They really don't know what an Uncle Tom. They call people Uncle Tom now, but back in the day, he was a hero. He was he made things happen. Harvard, runaway slaves, and they set up a community in Dresden, which was a pretty well an all-black community.
Okay.
And when I was young, nobody would talk about it back then. The people that lived there, the escaped peoples that came up and settled there, they had beautiful farms, but they just wanted to put all that behind them. They never talked about that stuff because it's, for one thing, they were in a community even into the 60s. I can remember going into town and in Dresden, and there was one restaurant there where the man was a bigot and he still wouldn't serve blacks in the late.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that was part of our our culture there, knowing that man had and I believe Harriet Beecher Stowe is, she talks about the Uncle Tom's and the migration of slaves up from the north, up from the south, and but one of the destinations was Dresden, Ontario, which was another terminus.
Wow. So it seems like everybody that was in the area, everybody that when they came that they got their freedom and stuff and they came, everybody lived in the same area and they just occupied the land.
Well, they got land grants for one thing.
Okay.
Some of them, like in Dresden, it was all parceled off. They had their own, um, portion of land, but a lot of that through, I believe, a lot of it they got ripped off, stolen from them. They were tricked over, when they first came. And lost some of the land because they didn't really know their rights and they didn't want to make a fuss because they didn't want to cause any problems, because they were still under that scourge of racism, and
All right.
a lot of them were escaped slaves. So just to be here and free, they didn't want to make waves. But
Okay.
us, we do. We make all the waves we can to make things, know what's going on. We stand up for our rights.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, different
So when
times.
this picnic, when this what it first started out as a picnic, when it started for you guys doing it 162, it's 162 years, right? You've been doing this picnic. But now it's
Yeah,
a festival.
yeah,
But
yes.
wow. So where, they held it the same place every year, or has it
Yeah,
expanded?
Harrison Park in Owen Sound was the original spot. It started out as a picnic, and as time went on, it became and I think in the 90s it became a festival. They got vendors now. They have food. They have big music things. We have book signings. My sister Bonnie is a book writer. She's a writer.
Oh, wow.
My other sisters are painters. My sister Linda she lives up in Northern Ontario. She works with Native kids and people. She's a principal of school up there, as well as being the president of the Emancipation Picnic this year. So I've got a lot of family invested into this. I'm going to say something else, but it'll come back to me about your question. I sometimes I forget. I got to get married, but sometimes.
So, what type of entertainment you're having this year?
This year, my cousins, Brooke Blackburn's daughter's going to play and sing. My nephew, my sister Bonnie's son, Joel Morelli, is playing. He's a guitar teacher and a great musician, and as well, I think Bobby Dean Blackburn will be there, and his sons, the Blackburns, who've been nominated for a juvenile, I believe, are going to be playing this year as well. Wow. So last year they had Liberty Silver. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
Yes, we know her. Yeah,
she was there last year. So it's great entertainment. This year they have the Speaker's Corner on Friday night. That's where we go and get up and talk, and then different guests talk about art or different things that are going on, have gone on, will go on. And then on Saturday, they have a breakfast in the morning, and then around 11, 12 o'clock, people start trickling in from all over. And there's a campsite there there's a big campground area there where people camp out or bring their RVs and stuff. But if you
so you can bring those and come up there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you have to.
Well, that's good to know. So people, if they want to come up there, just not just come up just for the festival, they can come up there for a few days and drive their RVs and camp out.
And it's really a beautiful place. Really beautiful.
Wow.
It's so busy now. You have to book almost a year ahead. But we've done that for years.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful spot. There's a river there. It's running through the park. It has
so you can fish there too, or no?
Yeah, you can.
Oh my gosh!
If you're older, over 65, you don't have to pay. The license is free, but you can fish there if you want.
Oh,
my one cousin, there's a little stream running right through the area where we have the pavilion, where we have the music. My cousin Chris Johnson, he's passed now, but I think it was about 10 years ago. There was a big, I think it was a coho salmon or a big trout. Must have been 4 feet long. Came up that stream there. I was trying to swim up the stream, and he went up and picked it up, and went by the campsite that night, and it was on the fire roasting.
You came right into me, so we're cooking that tonight.
Yeah, we were all standing there looking at this fish coming up the stream, and he said, "I'm we went and got it, man." We were all
wow.
It was great. It was a great time. Yeah.
Wow.
Fun. Yeah.
Well, we have some little promos here, so we're gonna play this, and then we'll be right back, and then you can just tell us where they can go. All right, hold on.
So this is the 161st gathering of the Black community getting together.
We have the Speaker's Corner on Friday nights. There's a church ceremony on the Sunday, and then there's the picnic. This picnic has been going on longer than Canada was in existence. I don't know when it became a festival, but it was always a family reunion at the very beginning. I'm trying to preserve history. My great aunt, Aunt B, started notating all of this family history, I think, when she was in her 60s or 70s. And in order to honor her, I put it on a chart and created this for her. It's just about having fun. And these picnics were started by a lot of the people that were here. What we're trying to do now is collect more information, new information. As I said, we've grown exponentially since this particular chart was made. And we're trying to update all the information on the family tree. So next year or the year after, we'll have a new family tree chart. I think the importance is family and education. And I think it's good for the children to know where they came from and where they're going to in the future. I'm hoping that my kids will continue this tradition.
Wow.
So that's pretty interesting because, you know, the lady that first started off that with the black dress and the white hair,
Yes.
that's my sister Bonnie.
That's what I think. I said maybe that's Bonnie.
And then the other lady that was announcing was a cousin of mine. And that chart, I have that picture of that black and white picture on my fridge. It's got and on the back it's got the names of all. It's my great grandmother and her 9 daughters and her 2 sons. My grandfather's there, and the husbands of my great grandmother's and my grandmother's sister there. It's a pretty amazing picture. My great grandfather Levi Solomon Earls, or Solomon Levi, he died there. He died in a quarry accident. Him and I think 2 other men died like in a quarry pit where they used to cut stone. It was an explosion and they died. And that picture was taken as a result of after the funeral. So they were all there together with their grandmother and their mother.
Wow.
So that's why that picture was taken. And you know, now that picture is a famous picture. And I looked on the internet this morning. It was on there. It was amazing to see.
Well, I got one more.
I was actually in that video as well. And going, oh,
you were?
Yeah, I was standing there with my back on my side. And I got my fedora on, and my sister and my daughter and my son were there at the races, sitting at the side when the kids were getting ready to run. So my son and daughter ran as well. So yeah, it was a great video. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, hold on. I got one more here. It's Chippewa Travelers Owen Sound. So I guess this is one of the things. Wow. I see everybody was participating in that.
My daughter and my sister Bonnie were in that clip as well.
Wow.
Did you notice those men in the background with the yellow sweaters and stuff on with the?
No. Who are they? Those are you?
Pardon?
Is those you or somebody else?
No, there was guys standing in the background. There was a group of guys who came up from Kentucky. Took them 2 weeks to get up here. That came last year, rode their bicycles. Brothers from the, I think there was 8 of them. They rode their bicycles from Kentucky up here for that, just to be there for the Emancipation Day Picnic last year.
All right, well, let me see it again. Let me look. Hold on. Let me see. We can play it again. Yeah, we see that they rode their bicycles up here.
They rode and came up from Kentucky. It took them 2 weeks to ride up here. they came up here just special for that, which was really a special thing.
Wow.
I talked to one guy. He was from Maryland, I think, or maybe that was in Virginia, and his name was Johnson. His last name was Johnson as well.
Gee.
And I said, next year maybe I'll have to make a journey down there, and we'll have to get together because we might be distant relatives.
It's true. You never know.
It's true. Yeah, you never know. So so they blessed us last year by coming there, and it was really a great time to have them and to entertain them and talk to them. It was a really beautiful thing that they did.
Wow. So this thing is going. So it's coming up. So what day is it?
It's the first long weekend in August every year. So I believe this year it's I think it's the second and third. Well, it's Friday. I think it's the second. I'm not. It's the first long weekend in August. I believe it starts Friday night, and Saturday is the picnic, and then Sunday there is the gathering at the
church.
This year it's going to be at the Gray Museum.
Okay.
And it's going to be outside, so weather permitting.
3 days, people.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of good food.
Oh yeah, lots of good food. I got an
wow.
I got an aunt there that makes the best chicken I've ever eaten in my life.
Oh my God. Yeah. You have to say it now. Now everybody wants a piece of chicken, People like chicken, boy, fried chicken.
Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, okay, so it's the first long weekend. Also, do you have any shout outs to give to your people or your sponsors and them?
Oh, just thank you, everybody that put the time and energy and love into this. We need to keep educating our younger people to know so that they will know their history and don't lose it, because if they lose that, they're going to lose themselves. And I just thank you for taking the time and energy and space to let me talk. This is a beautiful forum. I really appreciate it. And wise choices, good decisions.
Yes. You gave me the words of wisdom, people.
Wise choices, good decisions.
Wise choices, good decisions.
Yeah. I say that to one of my nephews that lives in France all the time. He always gets a big laugh out of it. So this has been very entertaining and very touching. I really enjoyed doing this with you.
Well, everybody's enjoying you because, you are your family and the generations are 162 years have putting on this picnic, which came into a festival. And if people didn't see the promo earlier, this is, it's not something that's taken lightly. It's up there in Owen Sound. We encourage people, if people came on their bicycles last year for Kentucky, drove and on bike, not car, took them 2 weeks to get there, then it's very, very important.
Yes. Amen.
So if anybody has to follow you on social media, where can they follow you on?
Oh, I don't have a social media. I just my brother talked to me and asked me if I wanted to do it because he had done it last year.
Bruce.
So, here I am.
Well, you can look it up, and then you can see the information. I'll put the information, the link. You guys can go down there. Go for the weekend. It's nice. That weekend is long weekend here in Canada. So we have a holiday. So for people that are in America, they don't have that holiday, but we have it. The first weekend, long weekend is August is our long weekend here. So, it's a big holiday. It kind of gives you one big holiday before the fall comes in. So, we expect to.
August always goes by fast.
I know.
Yeah.
Next to know, it's winter again.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you again very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'll see you guys next year again.
Oh, I remember one more thing. I remember last year my brother said, "You got to come."
Yeah, I know. I have to drive and see if I got to, there's so many things. I got to try to divide myself in 3.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I guess I have to bunk out over by you guys.
Well, if you come where we're bunking, you're going to be in luxury. because my sister
Yes.
and I, we got a 5-bedroom house with a sauna and jacuzzi, and
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Hey,
It sounds very tempting.
We camped out and laid on the ground for too many years. Now I don't do that anymore. I'm too old. I leave that to the younger
You said no. I
ones.
want to be inside a house now. I'm sorry.
That's right.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Douglas keeps telling us about Emancipation, the picnic, the festival. It's 162 years. Come on, people. You got to be part of that history.
Yes.
Live entertainment, everything.
Yes.
So,
okay.
I hope I see you back next year, or maybe one of your sisters will come instead.
Hey,
Douglas.
I'll set it up for you. We'll just
All right.
pass it on. Each year we'll give it to another
We'll
one.
give it to someone.
Maybe we'll get a younger one. Maybe we'll get a niece or nephew or my son or daughter, whatever.
Yes, it's a family affair. You know
That's
what I mean?
That's right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I do want to thank the viewers tonight for tuning in. Real Life Matters here with Douglas Johnson, talking about the Owen Sound Emancipation Festival 2024. It's their 162 years, people. They've been celebrating. They're looking forward to you. The first long weekend here in Canada. You guys can go up there, enjoy beach, fishing, outdoors, laughter, all that, all the above. So good night and bye for now.